Okay.
And we're off. We've departed.
Cheers to... let me think of something. I was going to say optimal health, but that's kind of like lame.
I have no clue.
I always say thriving health, but that's kind of like dumb.
Whatever you think works.
Okay. Cheers to optimal health.
All right. Let's get started.
Okay, so first we should talk about we're drinking an electrolyte mocktail.
Okay.
And
That's what we're calling it.
this is like a good lead in to the first topic because the first thing I was going to talk about. So, optimal health. I want us to go through a bunch of biohacking things, trends, and say if you basically like smash or pass biohacking topics.
Okay.
So the first one is mineralization. And so in this little mocktail that we have, it is just freshly squeezed orange juice, coconut water, and I put some sparkling water to give it a little mimosa feel.
A little pop to it.
And these are all, like, it's such a good way to get minerals from nature. And it tastes like an orange creamsicle. It's so good.
It does. Yeah, it's very good.
But for, like, biohacking, everybody's, like, obsessed with you have to take minerals because, like, our soils are depleted.
As far as, like, supplement and stuff?
Yeah, and so people buy, like, the packets of, like, minerals.
Yeah.
And are you into that or no?
I mean, it's hard to say because I see both sides. So, like, I guess, depending on your lifestyle, I don't know. I guess it works for some people. It makes sense if you're not getting it from what you're eating or what you're drinking and whatnot, if you have to supplement it, it makes sense. I'm not against it, but I would prefer to get it like the natural way.
Yeah.
You know?
Me too. Because a lot of the packets, it's like, it's a highly processed food, obviously.
Of course, yeah.
All supplements, I think, are like mostly highly processed.
Yeah, because I mean, they have to be extracted and whatnot. Like, it's not like there's an electrolyte tree growing somewhere where you can just kind of squeeze it into your water.
And they like make them taste good. So they add, sometimes it's like natural sweeteners like stevia, but
yeah,
even that's like not always great.
Yeah, if you want to get to the purest form of the minerals and electrolytes that you need.
No, so I think it is important, though, to focus on, like, getting minerals every day because a lot of people struggle with, like, weight and inflammation. It's weird because they're dehydrated, and so they're, like, storing water.
Yeah.
But I always thought, like, salt was bad for you, and now I add salt, like a pinch of salt to my water. Almost every glass of water I drink all day, add a pinch of salt, and that's like a way cheaper way than buying those packets.
Yeah.
That's what I do most of the time.
Don't get me wrong, those packets, they sometimes taste very good.
I know they do. I like we got the Element ones for free, and I like the chocolate one because I would make it as like a hot chocolate, like hot water, and it was really good at night. It was really good at night, but I didn't like some of the ingredients and like the type of magnesium in that. I don't love it. So it was like such a rare thing for us to have it because we got it for free.
Well, that's what I mean as far as like it's not the worst thing in the world for you. Obviously, if we're comparing it on a list of that versus
like
heroin, then obviously it's much better for you.
Bone broth hot chocolate with homemade marshmallows, that's better.
Yeah.
But obviously convenience. It was so much easier to just boil water and pour in a packet.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's not even hard to make the bone broth hot chocolate, so that's better.
Pretty straightforward stuff.
Put sea salt in it. Yeah. So like minerals, honestly though, I used to buy, and I want to buy these again. I used to buy I don't know if I'm going to say this right. Quinton is the brand. Remember those glass vials that had sea water in them?
Oh
And
yeah,
you told me
vaguely.
it was way back, and you were like, that can't be
Vaguely.
healthy. And it is. If you're
Eh.
gonna buy like a mineral supplement, 100% choose that over those packets that are flavored.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's closer to natural.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it comes down to. It's just, it's not the worst thing in the world to supplement it. Get those packets, pour them in your
Yeah.
water. It's not the worst thing. It's not going to kill you. But if you're 100% relying on that year after year, I would suggest switching over to intaking, stuff like this. Like,
Coconut water is really good
yeah,
for
and that's a
natural minerals.
100% natural
Yeah.
thing that you can get a lot of those minerals and stuff from. I would push for that. But if you pepper in somewhere occasionally, if you're out of town and you can't, whatever, if you're traveling, whatever it is, then I understand, here and there. But I think if you're someone who's every day doing that, you're already committed to intaking all that. Just maybe try to switch over to getting everything a 100%, like, because if you think about it, let's just say they're pulling a mineral that's in those packets out of a coconut water.
Yeah, I think
Then why wouldn't you just drink coconut water?
exactly. And I think honestly most of these topics that I'm going to bring up, there are a lot of like expensive ways in like high tech or like buying expensive supplements. But most of these, like, I'm going to lean towards the free way or the way that nature made it,
Yeah.
and over like spending money on supplements and machines and
Yeah.
all of that.
And that's not to say they're bad, but
But there is one thing
hmm.
that I kind of don't even remember because we've been doing this for so long. The coffee that we drink
Yeah.
is invented by the inventor, the founder of biohacking. Did you know this?
Founder of biohacking?
Yeah, the person who made up the word biohacking.
Okay.
And he's like obsessed with it. That's the coffee we've been drinking for like 2 years, and it is remineralized. And so we do get minerals, but I even forget that it is. So I still add a pinch of salt, sea salt, to my water. And I think it's good to do that. So the coffee, that's something you drink often. Like, we don't drink it every day anymore. I kind of switch off and do like every other day.
I'm like once a week.
Yeah, you drink it like once a week. But obviously if you drink coffee, you want to get like the mold free, like a good quality coffee. And so for me, it was like, oh, we're already doing that, so I'm gonna have to order it online on like subscription. So I really love the taste of this coffee. It's called Danger Coffee, and we've been drinking that for so long that we actually are getting minerals whenever we drink coffee from that. And so that is that's like so biohacking to have your coffee beans remineralized.
Yeah.
So we do that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, we're not above
No.
anybody in that aspect.
But I am like mostly against like spending crazy money on like extras. But like we're going to buy coffee anyway, and the coffee we have is not that much more expensive than others. I don't notice it at all, especially if you ever go to coffee shops. It's way cheaper than that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's a little bit more pricey than buying any other beans you get at any kind of grocery store. Not that much.
I love not buying it at the grocery store though. We just get it on subscription.
Yeah.
And it's like I don't even remember that happens.
Yeah, no, it's nice.
Yeah, so minerals, I think yes, important, but try to like go from nature, like get it from your diet, and do a cheap way of just doing a pinch of salt in your water, which is kind of backwards if you grew up thinking salt is bad for you. Obviously not like table salt. The salt we buy is only like sea salt. So I know like we kind of jump around. Like we have Himalayan salt, Celtic salt, the Redmond's real sea salt. I think it just has to be sea salt, not like table salt. That's different.
That's the stuff that they mine out of the earth.
Yeah.
That the salt deposits. That's. I don't really know. I don't know enough to speak on it too much, but I do know there's a difference. I mean, it's still a mineral. I don't know enough about it to say whether one's better than the other. I just know that the sea salt works for us.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
I
there's
should
a
have done
lot
more
I could
research before.
no, there's a lot I could say on that. But okay, minerals. Yes, we're into it.
Yeah.
If you're gonna buy a supplement, I would buy the Quinton sea salt vials over the like flavored. It's so fun. You do like a shot. It's a shot of sea salt, so it's just very salty. It doesn't taste all sweet like the other packets.
Yeah.
I want to get those again, but I don't do those every day. I just add sea salt to my water.
Okay. Well,
Okay, next is let's talk about red light therapy / circadian rhythm.
okay.
Smash or pass?
I'm into it. I mean, I never like denied that it was like a real thing, but recently, like having the red light glasses and just trying them out. I mean, yeah, because it's not natural for you to stay up past when it's dark and watching TV and staying out. It's not to say that I don't do those things. Obviously, everybody does, but that was it was very recently. I tried those out for the first time, and instantly you could feel the effect of like, okay, the sun's going down. I'm watching UFC or whatever. I'm gonna put these glasses on, and you do those, and you feel like your eyes start to get heavy. Like your body naturally is like, yeah, it's dark. It's time to go to bed, and I think I felt like I slept better because I didn't go straight from like staring at a blue light screen for a couple hours and then it's like, all right, my body feels tired. I'm done watching this. I'm gonna go to sleep, and then you lay there forever because your eyes and your body are trying to like do something that's been trying to force you to do for several hours now. It was kind of, once I had those on, it's like, okay, I'm done. Brush my teeth, get in bed, and it's like straight to sleep, no problem.
Yeah.
So I did notice there was a definite effect, like, yeah. But it's hard to say because obviously my work schedule, I'm working nights, I'm up early in the morning and stuff like that, and working late, whatever. So, I don't get to do it all the time, but when I have a chance, I do notice that it's a real thing. And yeah, your body's not supposed to be up and about when it's dark out, staring at your phone, staring at lights, and yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of a no-brainer for most people. Like just
No, you guys all like everybody thinks I'm a freak for like no lights in the house. Once the sun goes down, no, like do not have the lights on.
well, I think you could have lights on as long as you're wearing
Your red light
glasses.
glasses,
Yeah,
but then you have to spend
because
money.
you got to be able to see.
Yeah, so the red light glasses, I do think it's a good use of money, but it took me a long time to get them because it's like $130 for a pair of glasses, but all the sunglasses I've ever bought were $130.
Yeah.
And now I realize I'd never wear sunglasses. I miss them because they look cute with some outfits, but sunglasses are not good to wear unless if you wear your sunglasses inside. That's good because then it kind of like hides the blue light. Or if you want to wear sunglasses at night instead of red light, that kind of helps. But
Yeah,
like
you look like Mr.
sunglasses
Cool.
outside during the day is not good for you because your eyes need to take in the sunlight to like tell your skin like how to protect itself.
Yeah.
That's why like because I kind of mentioned last week that I'm trying to like work on not being so like resistant to the sun. Like my skin burns in like 2 seconds. I'm very like pale. And I'm trying to like help my body like take in the sun as medicine. And a lot of it is because if you like don't get the light in your eyes, your body like thinks it's nighttime and you don't need to protect yourself. And also it really affects your sleep. That's like the biggest thing. But before
but
the
obviously we're not like completely unaware to the fact that like we live in the modern world and like it's I guess 2,000 years ago it made sense that as soon as the sun goes down you go to sleep because
there's nothing else
to do. Right? Like
yeah.
there's but
But
now
that's why
obviously
if you're
like,
gonna stay up past the sun, the red light glasses really do help keep you kind of on track. But for me, like the longest time, and what I still try to do is wake up at dawn, and like see, if you can watch the sunrise and watch the sunset every day,
Yeah.
you are 100% like in way better health than most people, because it
Yeah.
really
I get that.
helps your sleep, and like sleep is the main thing.
Yeah.
Like just told you,
Like your subconscious sees like the start of the day and the end of the day. And
yeah, so your body's like aware. It's not
yeah.
in that like stress state of like, what time is it?
Yeah.
2 p.m.
And
2
like with the
a.m.
red light glasses, because like after using them, you can recognize before. It's like, oh yeah, when I did stay up late staring at the screen, whatever it was, like you almost can feel like, oh yeah, my body was fighting to like stay awake. Like your eyes start kind of burning after a while, but with those, like your body's like, oh, thank you, I appreciate that, and like starts to kind of go into rest mode. So
I think more
definite smash on the red light glasses.
Yeah. And more red bulbs for nighttime in the house. We have like the one red light in the bathroom.
Yeah.
But and getting like Himalayan salt lamps, I still want to get those for like your bedside. Just so you, like, even if you have the red light glasses or not, to not have like LED lights, because those are so stressful. There's like been a lot of studies that like being under those LED lights, because they're like flickering, it stresses out your body and it causes weight gain. Like a lot of people don't understand, like, I eat healthy, I don't understand why I'm like can't lose weight. And it's like when you're in a stress state, and a lot of it is subconscious, just like we talked about a couple weeks ago with like that beeping sound constantly. Yeah. Like that's part of it. It's the lights too.
Yeah.
Very stressful. But for red light therapy, most people, I don't know if you know this, there's like...
Someone's driving by with a motorcycle right now.
It's okay. There's like red light panels that people like sit in front of and do like therapy. They're pretty expensive. Would you ever get a red light panel and just sit in front of it to take in red light therapy? Because it's not just like for sleep. Apparently like red light is really good for your skin and for health.
Well, similar to the different kinds of salt, I don't know enough about them to say yes or no.
I just think it's not worth the money for me, because you could just get your morning and evening sunlight. If you just go out at dawn and go out for sunset, take that into your skin. I prefer that, because they're really expensive, these like red light panels.
I'm sure they are, yeah. And that's another thing in any kind of health stuff. You have to be aware there are like some things that are just a straight cash grab. Like it's not a bad thing for you, but it just seems like just doing too much. It's like, you don't need to do all this.
There's so many things with biohacking. That's why like I would never say that I'm like a biohacker. I'm not into it, but there's like so many. I'm into optimal health, but I'm not into like all of these like machines and technologies that try to outsmart nature, because honestly the like main biohacker, like the people who are like known in that space, they are trying to like live forever, and they're trying to outsmart nature.
It seems, to me it's kind of in line with the same people that, and this is my opinion, but it's like it's similar in line with the people that, you know, kind of started all the GMO vegetables, make corn immune to this certain kind of Roundup, so then we can spray and kill everything, but the corn lives. It's like
that causes so many problems. The second you start doing
you go
that,
too far off. There's definitely a pendulum of how far you can go, and I think certain things like red light panels, it's like you're doing too much. It's like there's no reason to go that far, but I don't think it's terrible, but I don't know enough about them to.
No,
really
I agree. I'm sure it's healthy, but I just don't think it's worth like a focus. It's not going to be that much of a needle mover for your health.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
If you get gifted one for free, or if you have much money and you just
it's the same thing with like the ice bath and stuff like that.
Yeah. That's the next one.
That's the next one?
Yeah.
Oh, you want to just jump into the next one?
Hot, cold therapy, sauna, and cold plunge.
I guess I'll say what I was about to say. Similar to the panels or whatever, I think, and I'm sure a lot of people would disagree with me, I don't think there's anything wrong with the ice bath. I don't think there's anything wrong with the sauna. I don't think there's anything wrong with any of that. If I had unlimited resources and I was able to, if I had just fuck you money and I had unlimited space, sure, why not add one of those to my compound? But I think you can get the same kind of results from your shower that you have at home. Like you can have the drastic temperature differences enough to benefit you. Once again, that's just my opinion. I'm not someone who practices any of that stuff. So, you know, take it or leave it. I don't really care. I'm not trying to defend that theory forever, but I think it's similar to the panels. It's just like, yeah, if you have thousands of dollars to put a sauna in, or you want to spend the however many $100 it is to get one of the cheap ice baths, go for it. It's not bad for you, but I think you
I
can
don't
get.
know why you just wouldn't use a bathtub. Like,
Yeah, I think you can
I
get
would
the
rather
same
get
effects.
a bathtub in my bathroom.
I
That's
really,
nice.
I think you can get the same effects.
I remember when I was like 12 years old, I wanted to be like Simone Biles and all of that because I was a competitive gymnast, but like not at all on that level. And I did not need to do this, but I remember I made my mom buy like a bunch of those big ice bags at the gas station, and I sat in my bathtub and did an ice bath.
Yeah, I mean,
It didn't do anything.
I mean that's also similar to a lot of health things. You got to be consistent with it.
True,
And
true.
like there are good solid effects that people that I personally know that practice the ice bath and the sauna and whatnot, or have or whatever. I know there's benefits to it. So I'm not sitting here saying that's stupid. Don't ever do it. It's a waste of money. If you want to do it, go for it. But I think there's better ways to do it that you don't have to go get all these technological advances and spend $5,000 to get this whole setup. I think you're doing too much.
And if
Just
you're
for the average person.
if you're like me, where you're like, there's some people that are like very resistant to hard things, and they're like, oh, I'm scared, or oh, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I am like kind of a freak with like, I'll do anything if I think it looks cool or I think it's healthy. And that's like something I've had to kind of reel back a lot in the last couple years because like with the whole cold plunging, I got like, oh, I want to do that too. I see all these people doing it. And then I did consistently put my bare feet and hands out in the snow, take cold showers in the morning.
And what happened next?
And I gave myself frostbite, and I just kept doing it. I had like low grade frostbite for months and months and months, and that's really bad for a woman's body to be consistently cold all the time.
Yeah.
So that's like something you really have to listen to your body with everything. Like
that's what all this stuff kind of comes back to.
Yeah.
It's like one thing might not work for you as it does for the person next to you. Everybody's different. It might work for 9 out of 10 people, but you might be that one person it doesn't work for. And if you're forcing yourself to go along with everything, you're going to do more damage than good. And that's, I mean, that theory carries across the board too.
I never saw any good results from it, and I just stuck with it. And I think that's kind of like what people do with like certain dieting or certain exercise
That's what I was going to say.
regimens.
I wasn't sure if that was the next topic or not.
No.
But it's the same idea. It's like some person might go hop on, a certain kind of diet and it works for them, but your body might be different. You're at a different age. You're a different, you're in a different environment. You're whatever it is. And I think people that kind of consistently, like they force themselves because it works for these other 5 people, it must work for me too. But there's no results. Nothing is changing. And you just keep going. You're just beating the shit out of your body for no reason. And even if nothing bad comes from it, you're wasting your time. You're wasting your energy. You're wasting your money. You're wasting. If it doesn't work for you, it doesn't work for you. That's why, same thing with the diets. I don't believe one specific diet works for anybody. So. Yeah.
I'm a pass. Like, I'm against actually the cold hot therapy, but what I am into is don't stay, or what I'm against.
Yeah.
I'm against staying in like a AC always 71 degree controlled forever. Yeah. I'm into like be out in the elements, and some people live where it's freezing cold. Some people live where it never gets cold, but wherever you live, be like out in the real temperature I think that's really good for your body.
Definitely, yeah. Yeah, staying in a temperature-controlled climate forever is definitely not good for you. So as far as the heat cold therapy,
I think take a
for
bath if you want to take a bath.
it's not for me.
Jump in a cold
At
lake.
this moment in time, it's not my thing. That could
No.
change in a week. It could change never. I don't know. But as far as right now, if you want to, I would never shame anybody. But there's no reason to spend all the money on the technology that Joe Rogan has. It's just, unless you want to, then go for it. Whatever. But so I would say I'm kind of in between on that one. I don't.
I'm a pass because I was damaged.
You were, yeah. You got firsthand results.
I almost couldn't, like, it was the week before our wedding when I found out my
Mhm.
ring did not fit me because I had swollen extremities.
Yes.
So
It's not good.
it did harm to me. And because I was like, oh, it's supposed to be hard. Tough it out. Tough it out.
Yeah,
like,
no.
You have to listen to your body. Clearly, I was reacting in a way that was like telling me this is not good for you.
Oh, it's like, it's same things like people that, and I don't want anyone to take me out of context here, but it's like, it's the same idea as all this stuff. But like the people that have seen like David Goggins, I mean, the dude's insane. He's in peak health. He runs like 7,000 miles every day or whatever it is. He runs like an insane amount of miles constantly. And some people, like, they get in line with it, they advocate for it, and the next thing you know, they've destroyed all their joints because, like, for your body, you got a different structure, a different setup, and your body weight constantly going up and down on your knees and your ankles, and all, it might not work for you. It might work for him, it doesn't work for you. So it's the same thing with all this stuff. You see someone doing the cold plunge and the sauna and all this, their bodies, it works for them. But there's no you got to listen to your body. You got to know if you're doing damage. First of all, you got to know if you're doing damage. That's the most important thing. And also, on the flip side of that, if nothing's changing at all after you've consistently been doing this, you got to question whether or not you're wasting your time and your resources and everything on something that's just never going to benefit you.
Yeah.
So I would say personally, I'm a pass on that, but I don't really have any negative experiences with it. So that could change.
Well, I heard for sauna that a lot of people's saunas are moldy because obviously it's like,
yeah, that's,
so I just feel like you're going in there to like detox, but what if you're breathing in mold?
that's
So like
that's a factor as well.
I'm not drawn anymore. There was like a long time where I was like, oh, I wish I could afford to have a sauna in my house and a cold plunge. So I tried to do and that's like actually a really good thing before you even care or try to invest in something like that. Do what you can with what you have and see if you actually like it. So like take cold showers, see if it's something you would genuinely do every day and if it helps you.
I mean, you got to walk before you can run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I don't really care about that stuff.
Yeah, doesn't apply to me.
Okay, the next is grounding.
Okay.
I think grounding is amazing, so important.
Yeah.
It immediately changes the way you feel, and I think it's insane that most people, including me not that long ago, would go like maybe a whole year and never touch your skin to the earth.
Yeah.
And that was when I was most unhealthy.
So dirty.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I definitely think that's a very important thing. I had the chance to be at the beach in the last 3 days, 4 days, whatever. And, I always try to get your toes in the sand. Go out there, touch the water,
oh my gosh,
man.
people who wear shoes on the beach.
Oh, my goodness. It's like, oh, my, it's so terrible. I hate it. There's not even a specific body type.
It's all kinds of people.
It's all kinds of people that, like, they just do not like sand or whatever it is. It's insanity to go on the beach in, like, your Air Force Ones and, like, fully clothed.
You're ruining your shoes.
What are you doing? You're destroying
one.
your shoes, first of all. Second of all, how are you doing this?
You're missing the point. Why come to the beach if you're not going to
take your fucking shoes off? What are you doing?
Take in the healing powers of, like, why you came.
It feels good. Put your feet in the sand. It feels good. But also, once again, along the lines of all the technology, I don't think you need to get one of those beds that you plug into a wall that allegedly it gets these certain vibrations where it's the same as being you don't need to
No,
do that.
I'm 100%
I disagree with that
against.
strongly. Anyone who disagrees with me, you're an idiot. That's what I think. I
No,
think you literally can get the same effects, if not much better, by walking outside in your grass or down at the park in the grass or down on the beach or whatever it is. Walk in the snow. I don't care. When you're actually touching the surface of the earth, that is tremendously more effective within seconds than sleeping in a bed that allegedly grounds you.
no.
If you are someone who falls for that scam, you are a donkey. You've been duped. You don't need to do that.
Well, I'm completely
Is it
against.
going to kill you? Probably not.
This is like a completely different.
That right there to me is a health scam.
No, I think any of the beds that like regulate temperature or
Oh,
move,
yeah.
any bed that has electronics.
Yeah, that's terrible.
No, like get
That's
all
terrible.
the EMFs, all the electricity out of the bedroom while you're sleeping.
Yeah, that's
So
one major reason why I will never own an electric vehicle.
no, I want
I
100%.
do not want to be sitting on a
Oh,
battery all day long while I'm cruising down
never.
the freeway.
Yeah, that's horrible.
Not a chance, dude.
And I don't want to be sleeping on a battery mattress.
Nothing political at all. I don't care about any of that. I don't want to be sitting in an area where it's like I'm in a black box on an airplane where it's just electronics surrounding me
No.
all day long.
Well, that's something
Same
like,
thing with those beds. It's nuts.
yeah,
It's
I
terrible
want
for you.
100% cotton mattress, 100% like natural fiber sheets, but they do make grounding sheets. But I don't know what it is. It's like they weave in like natural fibers.
Yeah, that's different. I'm talking about the ones that they like charge
if you
up.
plug in your bed or charge
If
your
your
bed,
bed plugs into the wall,
no,
I mean, this isn't the
no,
Jetsons
thank
here, man.
you. No, thank you.
That's too futuristic and too absurd. That's along the lines of the same people that think like they can freeze their body and hop on a rocket and they can wake up at Saturn in like 1,000 years. You're a dumbass. I think that's my opinion. I'm not trying to start anything, and people, you do whatever you want.
Well, a lot of people are into all of those, and like even like the Apple Watch and wearing the Aura Ring and tracking. That's another topic, but I'm very against all of that. Like, just get all the technology off of your body and touch the earth with your body.
Yeah, I mean, it's so simple. There's no reason to, on a simplistic level, taking my opinion out of it. There's no reason to spend that kind of money and go to that much of an effort when you can literally get the same effect by walking on the beach or in the grass or in the dirt or hug a tree. That stuff's free. It's easy. It's accessible. I don't care if you live in the middle of New York City. You can still find a way to ground better than buying a bed that plugs in that has all these effects. And once again, I don't know the full details of these beds either.
Well,
I just do know that there's like some technology in there that is artificial.
Yes.
And I'm sure there's a list of benefits, but I think that is a major scam. Yeah. And you'll never catch me doing that.
Also, they make like grounding mats that I'm pretty sure plug in that you could like stand on inside.
Well, because what they're trying to do, because it has to do with like the electromagnetic field.
Well, you're getting like negative electrons from the earth.
Yeah, so they're trying to like hack that and make it do the
I don't
same
like
thing.
that type of biohacking stuff at all.
Yeah, that's just so
go
unnatural.
into the actual earth that is giving you. So that's like, those are my things with biohacking that I really don't like.
Yeah.
But you know what I do like for grounding? Buying grounding shoes.
Okay, this is something I don't know much about, so this is your area of expertise.
Well, it's not expertise. It's just like the rubber sole always separates you from the earth. And of course, we're going to wear shoes.
Was it like a Fred Flintstone car where like the bottom just cut out and you're actually walking on the ground all day?
No.
You got a fake shoe on?
It's just like a very thin, like natural material that allows electrons to go through.
Okay.
And you just have to get over like, I guess style. You have to get over, like, there's so many things now with fashion where like if it's not natural material clothing, I don't think sometimes it's like, oh, that is cute, but I'm not gonna buy it. And now that's what I am with shoes. If it's a rubber sole, like, I don't care what they look like, and if like how cute it would look with an outfit, I'm not spending my money on that. Yeah. I'm only spending my money on things that are like natural material, handmade, good for your health. And so every time I need a new pair of shoes, which I had not bought any shoes in years, and so pretty recently, I bought one pair of flip-flops, And I actually haven't even bought these yet. I'm going to buy one pair of tennis shoes. Um, but I'm going to buy the grounding shoes that are
Yeah.
from natural fibers. They look more like what women or people wore like in the 1600s.
It's
Like,
not like a futuristic, like,
no, it's
see
like
Beyonce show up on a red
so
carpet in a sheet
simple,
metal dress or
just
something.
like a piece of leather,
Yeah, simplistic. I like that.
hand sewn to the bottom.
Not trying to look like we are from a different dimension.
Yeah. So I love what you brought up though. All of these like biohacking technologies of like basically mimicking what the earth does.
Yeah, pretty much.
I am really against
Yeah,
those.
I don't like that at all. It's just, to me, I see through it to where I see the scam behind it.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, it's trying to make it where it's so accessible for you. You don't even need to go down to the park. You don't even need to
Yeah.
go down to
Oh,
the
that's
forest. You don't need.
horrible.
It's like you can do it right in the comfort of your own home. To me, more than anything, it's a cash grab, and I hate that. Also, you will never be able to 100% mimic
No,
nature.
never.
And I just, anyone that falls for that, I'm sorry. I just think it's a foolish thing to defend that as like, no, it's the same thing. It's not the same thing. It's never going to be the same thing. You're wrong.
Yeah.
You're just straight up wrong. There's no argument here. There's no conversation to have. You're wrong. And it's a foolish thing to spend money on. And, I hope no one does. But
Yeah. No, and those things are so expensive. Not even the grounding ones, but it's even like the ones that like yeah, change temperature, change hardness and softness.
yeah,
Like
those are
just
crazy.
you guys go back to like ancient times.
Yeah.
Like I mean, some people slept on the ground. I want to sleep on like a nice cotton pad at least.
Yeah.
Like a natural material.
Yes.
Nothing electronic. I'm against also like we talked about this, but people who are obsessive about wearing the like wearables and tracking like their HRV, is that what it is? Like tracking like your heart rate while you sleep, tracking
Oh
like
yeah.
just like these little health trackers.
Yeah.
Oh, getting blood work all the time to check your supplementation and buying a bunch of supplements based on your blood work.
Yeah. These levels are low. We need to take some more of this. And
Yeah, I'm not against that because you're changing all the time. And also, it puts like the expert status outside of your own hands. Like, why can't you just tune into your body, see how you feel?
recognize what feels right and what
Yeah,
doesn't.
definitely not wearing any like technology. And I'm also against like getting your blood drawn and being so obsessed with supplementation. Instead, just focus on a really good, like well sourced diet
Yeah.
and noticing what feels good.
Honestly, I think a lot of those electronics that people use to track whatever different vitals and everything, I think what that does is like, because people, you tell people, oh, you need to just listen to your body. Listen, everything that they're doing is interrupting that signal,
Yes.
so they're unable to feel what's going on. So they become so reliant on, well, my Apple Watch says my heart rate is this. It's like, how can you not feel your heart rate? Like, I can tell you right now when my heart rate is going nuts. I can feel it because I don't have something plugged into my brain that's doing all this, tracking for me. So I can definitely see how people would be confused and lost. It's like, well, how am I supposed to listen to my body? It's like, well, first of all, you got to get rid of all the
Yeah.
electronics that are interrupting the signal and the ability to just feel what's going on.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, I agree.
those are my opinions. I'm gonna get assassinated after this one.
No, I don't think so.
People get so caught up in their, like, that's one thing. People gotta like learn to be more open to change. Because some people, like, they get so, like, especially if they spend so much money and so much time doing things a certain way, like they just commit to like, this is the hill I'm gonna die on.
Yeah.
And they like take personal offense when you vocalize that maybe there's a cheaper, simpler, easier, healthier way to do whatever it is, the grounding. Here's an they like take it like personal offense to it. And none of this is meant to be offensive at all. So if you're someone that takes offense, you spent all this money on these mimicking electronic devices, keep doing you. Whatever works for you, keep doing it. But yeah, I think people need to just be more open to change, be more
Well,
open to, like, maybe I have been doing things wrong. Maybe there is an easier way to do this.
yeah.
And sell it to some sucker on Facebook Marketplace. Whatever,
Yeah,
dude.
seriously. There's a lot of
That's a terrible thing to say,
no,
but
there's a lot of things that like I've wasted money on, and now I have to realize like
for sure,
I
we don't have this all figured out. We've
yeah,
done things very wrong in the past.
yeah.
So
That's the journey and the process. And
yeah, you can't commit and assume you know everything, because I definitely don't know everything.
I really try to not be defensive, but I do feel that like when someone criticizes something that you do all the time,
Yeah.
you get defensive. And I think really notice that and try to check that so that you can like actually hear what the person is saying and then decide, do you agree with them, or do you want to look into what they're saying, or are you like, cause like just blocking it out and putting up a wall and be like, no, you're wrong. Like that is so annoying.
Yeah, that's a narcissistic way of handling things. It's just you're not open to anything.
But it's
But one thing I
natural
will
because
say
your
is,
body
like,
does get like really alerted.
for sure, it happens to me several times a week. Someone tells you you're doing something wrong. You shut up, man. And you're like, oh wait, hold on. Oh, okay, yeah, no, I am. He's right. My bad.
Yeah.
But it's a natural human instinct. There's nothing like wrong with it, but just being able to recognize it. But one thing I will say is, one thing I will defend is anything that you're doing. Back on topic with like the grounding. Anything that you're doing that is closer to a natural way of doing it, I will always be on that side of the fence. So that's one thing that I'm not gonna like argue with people. But once again, I'm not gonna like get all defensive, because like I'm confident in what side I've picked. I know this is correct. I know I've felt the difference. I've felt how just simplified, and your mind eases and you feel less stress doing it this way. I don't need to spend thousands of dollars to do what Dr. So-and-so is telling me on this Instagram ad. I don't need to do that.
Yeah.
So, but I'm not going to die on that hill. If you disagree with me, whatever, keep doing what you want to do.
Yeah.
It's just people, when they feel like they have like money and time and energy invested in something, and someone tells you you're doing something wrong, that's when they're like, fuck you. No, I spent $5,000 on this thing. It works. It's like, no, you're just defending the fact that you spent a lot of money on this, or you spent a lot of time on this. It's fine, dude. Cruise it out. I don't care.
Yeah.
That's usually a sign when people are very defensive about things. Usually always a sign that
That's why I've really been trying.
that you're wrong.
I've really been trying to like not engage. It depends on the topic, but sometimes I'm very bad. Where I could tell someone is
just
so
post and ghost.
defensive. Someone is so worked up. And sometimes I'll just keep on being like, well, this, instead of just being like, oh, they're so defensive. They are not listening to you. They are so in their belief. Dude, they're not listening. And just,
no reason.
If you say nothing, what they're going to do is they're going to go home later that night before they fall asleep and think like, oh, she didn't say anything. Just like, I don't know.
No
when
one
you
responded.
the less you say to someone like that, the more they're actually going to think about it, rather than going home and being like, can you believe they said, because they're going to pick apart every word you say. Sure. And then that will just help defend their stance, rather than if you just say, okay. Yeah. And then they keep going of like their belief. They're going to go home.
The more you engage, the more people get committed to their side.
Yeah. But if you're just like, okay, then they're going to go home and think like, well, what was she saying again?
Yeah, when you vocalize your opinion and no one responds to it, there is an element where you do start to feel like a little bit of a dumbass. Like you're like, wait, did I say everything? Did I word everything right? Did I get my opinion out there? Then you go and reread it and you're like, oh man, no one's responding. I really do look like an idiot. Oh man, did I say this right? And you just keep going, and then like, just let them handle that in their own head. Let them figure it out.
I think that helps people grow when you just don't argue.
There's nothing to argue
about. Then
about.
they might actually like review and
Yeah, there's been several comments where there's nothing to argue. Yeah. They have nothing to say on the matter.
And this is like, I'm going off, but to not like, this is something that I was so bad about when I was like feeling so excited that like I finally felt really healthy and good about myself. So I just would like share all these things, and
Yeah.
people would not want to hear it. And I would just like just explode my opinions everywhere.
Yes.
And I think that's like something to watch. Now I realize like people don't have to do what I'm doing in order to feel good, but I
No,
do feel
not at all.
excited about a lot of things that have helped me, and so I like to. That's why I like doing this and doing like my newsletter, because I can
Well,
throw it out there.
a
And
huge part of it is just knowing your audience.
yeah,
It's like this kind of stuff right here. I'm not just vocalizing my opinion to the masses. I'm not standing out there on the corner with a
yeah,
bullhorn, you know, the devil walks among us, out there just puking your ideas and theories on people. I'm not doing that. If you don't like this, you can turn it off.
yeah,
Go listen to something else. And that is one important thing, no matter what your opinion is on anything, is yeah, no, right or wrong, just innocent people are walking around just like throwing your ideas on them. That's very inconsiderate, and you are wrong for that.
mm,
But I think this is a solid outlet where,
yeah,
like like I said, if you don't like it, people are more than welcome to turn it off and go listen to something else.
yeah.
So I will continue throwing my theories out there, my ideas and my opinions. So, anyways, what are we moving on to next?
So there's not like a whole lot else, but I had in my head like I don't know if it's biohacking. I think so, but it's like an ancient thing people have done for centuries.
Okay,
Um,
cannibalism.
no.
Oh,
Why do I forget what it's called now? Oh, like coffee enema or um, colonics, cleanses and detox, liver detox. People have done them for years, but so basically yeah, shoot something up there to clean you
oh,
out.
that's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, oh, so you're talking about the people that, in an effort to cleanse their liver and their body out, they start putting shit up their ass.
Well, and cleansing it out.
If you are at a point where your health has deteriorated in your eyes, or you're like trying to make a conscious effort to cleanse, you would. I mean, I think you're so far gone to be putting. If you're sticking anything up your ass because that's your idea of how you're. I mean, to each their own. Once again, if that's something that works for you, go for it.
It's ancient medicine, and that's
I personally, I think that's insanity, and it's nothing about the act of that. But I think there's much better ways that you can, do a detox. There's a lot of like, I mean, we've done it with like all the different, like you can make like different like juices and stuff like that.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I'm way more
There's
into
much better ways that I think that get you the
fasting.
same effects.
Even fasting
Fasting is a huge one.
is
Fasting is
much better than I think an invasive, cleanse like that.
I
I've never done it, and I
Okay,
always go
so
back and forth.
they used to do that for thousands. They've done that for thousands of years. They also used to, cut people's fingers off if they stole something. They used to. There's a lot of things they used to do. They used to sacrifice their children because they thought that it made the rains come. Like they used to
Yeah.
do insane things. Just because it's been around for a long time doesn't mean they've been doing it the right
But
way
I
for a long
found a
time.
lot of like traditional Chinese medicine, like they were right.
The Chinese, they've had a lot of good ideas, but it doesn't mean all of them are the right ones.
I know. I've not done it.
Once again, if it works for you, if that's something you want to go for, I'm not against it. I'm not going to sit there and beat anyone over the head and say
You're
you're a
not
nut
against
job.
it?
If it works for someone else,
Well, that's
I'm
my
not going
thing.
to do that.
I have gone back and forth on like if I was really not feeling well, what I do for a long period of time, and I'd done other things. Like I guess it's a tool, but people do it like for maintenance, like once a quarter, and I just don't. I
What
think
are you
it's
taking in your body that you're having to maintenance by putting coffee
well.
grounds
That's
up
what I'm
your
saying.
ass?
If you're like very like
If you're that far gone,
conscious,
there's bigger problems.
if you're really conscious about what you take in, I think you don't need that harsh and that invasive.
That's
of
what I mean. That's like
a
every time my
cleanse.
heart beats fast, you need to do open heart surgery and see what's going on.
No.
To me, that's how like insane of a level of a reaction it is to whatever kind of ailment you might be having or whatever, trying to kind of cleanse. It's like you don't need to do something like it's very invasive. I don't think there's I have no premonitions here. I'm not trying to anything at all. I think if you were saying the same thing like about your nose. Oh yeah, every time, I get a sinus infection, I put coffee grounds up my nose. Like, why? Why would you do that? I don't care if traditional Chinese medicine says that 10,000 years ago they did this. That's crazy. You shouldn't have to put stuff like that in I don't know.
Well, they did it back then, I think, for very specific like ailments, and now I know that like most ailments are emotional, so that won't
Yeah,
even get to the root.
yes.
So I think I would not do it because of that.
That's what
Because
to me that right there is such a drastic measure to take. I think in my eyes I view it as like giving like CPR. Like it's like life altering. Like this is our last resort.
yeah,
I've tried everything else, nothing else is working. I'm going to try this out. But people who just voluntarily just do it because it's like, "Oh, it feels good." Once again, do whatever you want, but I don't think
for detoxing and cleansing,
there's so many other ways you
I
can do it.
think be very conscious and about what you eat all the time. Don't like splurge on like, oh, I'm going to eat this
Yeah.
gray goo fast food once in a while.
Yeah.
Never. I don't think that's great. But even if you do, whatever. I wouldn't, because I don't think that's good to put in. But if you really want to do like some type of like a feeling of a cleanse and
Yeah.
feel fresh and brand new, I love the internal shower smoothie.
That's what you call it.
And
Yeah.
I've posted that before. I'll put the link to that one in the show notes. It's not what I call it. A doctor made it up.
Oh, okay.
Dr. Joffrey.
We're not trying to steal
Yeah,
credit here.
I did. It's not my idea. But that's really good because it has cilantro. Cilantro is very, like, detoxifying.
If you're someone who says cilantro tastes like soap, turn this off.
Well, so cilantro,
I don't even want to talk to you.
mint, parsley, arugula, those are like, just put, instead of like a salad with plain lettuce, do a bunch of like parsley and arugula. That's like
yeah.
really, like, I always feel like it actually does detox and feel like amazing. And then celery juice in the morning, first thing. Oh, olive oil and lemon juice shot. We do that.
That's good, yeah. I like
First
that
thing in the morning. And then what else? That's like
honestly,
the
anything is
best.
better than
And then I would say, yeah, if you fast for 24 hours or something, or what I do is like eat your last meal at 3 p.m. and then don't eat until 7 a.m. or whatever. That isn't just that one time. You wake up feeling like cleansed the next day.
Yeah, 100%. Because you give your body time to feed on the fat and the bad, the bad cells that are whatever, like anything that's going on. You give your body time to digest your food, and then it starts looking around because your body's trying to consume, and it gives it time to start focusing on other things. I don't know. I just, yeah, that is not for me. There's no stigma to it, no nothing. It's literally, I think it's just a crazy thing to do. It's, I don't know. I just think it's a wild. I'm trying to think of something to compare it to, but honestly, I think anytime you're like inserting things into like your ears, your nose, even if you were like
Injecting things.
yeah, injecting things in your body, I just think to each their own, man. Go for it. But for me, there's a lot of other options I would try out long before I even slightly considered doing that. I would have to be a life or death situation for me to be like, okay, let me try this out, see what it's all about.
No, if I was like facing death, like
It
if
just doesn't seem like there's anything you're gaining from it that you can't gain a much simpler, easier way.
But that's what I was gonna say is like, I would.
Oh no, I got frostbite. Let me just chop my foot off because it's cold right now. Why would you do that?
I
Just warm
used
your
to
feet
say
up.
that I wouldn't be against it if I was like really sick or like really my gut lives really bad. But now I disagree because now I realize it's all emotional. So if I was really facing death of like something is wrong with me and I'm like down bad, I would just lay out in the grass naked, let the sun and the grass heal me, and I would just sit there and do nothing and think about what emotional thing is ailing me.
Yeah.
Research like what area of the body.
Take a break from all the responsibilities of life, everything. Just close out and get grounded.
Yes.
Essentially.
That's all I would do. So I would not do a colonic or a coffee enema or anything like that.
Yeah, it's the benefits definitely are not there. Just.
Well, can you think of any other biohacking things?
Well, I mean, one we already discussed that I think kind of encapsulates any that we may have missed is just anything that is technology that is trying to mimic what you can get from nature. I think overall anything that we've missed several, I'm sure, but it's all in line with the people that are trying to live forever and do all that. I mean, I don't know. I think anything technology related that is trying to do the same job that nature's doing, I'm against all that. But yeah, I don't know. Can't think of anything off the top of my head.
Earth is the most intelligent, beautiful, perfect place.
Yeah.
I don't understand like people saying they're like what they're doing with all the technology of trying to like leave Earth. I would never join that.
Well, I mean, that's a huge conversation because a lot of people they got all these, and I'm not sitting here trying to pick sides because I'm too stupid to know, but there's all kinds of arguments. The Earth could be hit with an asteroid. There's too many people. The global warming. We got to go populate another planet because it's this and that.
I think if you give to the Earth will give back to you on your own little land.
Yeah,
and you don't need to look so big picture of like, oh, I can't control everybody else in the world. Like, obviously you can't. But you can pour into your little piece of land that you live on and see how it returns back to you.
Yeah. I don't get in the conversation of whether or not we should leave this planet because it's all politicized and it's just a waste of my time. People have all kinds of theories. Maybe they're right, maybe they're wrong, but
I don't know anything about it.
Well, like if nuclear war breaks out, like stuff like that, the planet's going to be decimated. We got to go repopulate Mars and whatnot.
I just think let it be. If that's what happens.
I could get ran over by a fucking bus tomorrow. If that happens, so be it.
That's what people did. And yeah, realizing that other people's actions can affect you, but honestly, most of the time, it really doesn't. Like people will argue about this for forever, but like most of the time, no matter what anyone else is doing in the world, it doesn't affect me.
Yeah, I mean,
and if one day it does, it is what it is.
Whatever, it is what it is. I guess this was my time to go.
Yeah.
I don't know, but yeah, that's to encompass all of it. I think any kind of biohacking that is technology related and its primary effort is to mimic whatever you can get from nature, I think that's something to avoid. That's my personal opinion. If someone disagrees, feel free to comment, but I'm not even going to read it. So go ahead and waste your own time. I don't care. But those are my opinions. And yeah.
Well, get your mineral mocktail. I was just thinking as I was making this mineral mocktail, the main thing when I started this podcast, I thought we were going to like give Kermit Lynch wine recommendations with every episode. And I've not drank wine in a while for these episodes. But
yeah, true.
We'll come back to it one day.
We'll circle back.
Yeah.
We'll be back. I'm gone.
We go forever. With what we feel. If you want the mineral mocktail recipe, join the newsletter. That's where it's going down.
So much better than shoving coffee grounds up your ass. I'll tell you what.
Okay, cheers to optimal health from nature.
Cheers to optimal health.